Hey, my name's Erin and welcome to my channel. The lighting's gonna be really crazy in this video because it's 4 o'clock and I've never filmed this late in the day. So the lighting's gonna be even weirder than usual. And I'm sitting on the floor because the bed just, I don't feel like sitting on it. Today's video is going to be another vlog type video where I just sit down and chat with you guys and talk about things. I made quite a few videos about anxiety and mental issues and blah 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 blah, and as much as I really like doing like the makeup tutorials and the favorites videos and all that stuff, I really like talking about mental health and my mental health, and I don't know why. It's kind of cathartic to me to be able to just kind of have an open forum to discuss this kind of stuff, but I also feel like there isn't a huge amount of this kind of stuff available to people, where people just kind of talk about mental issues, and mental health and the issue of mental health is so prevalent today, and it's so misunderstood and it's so stigmatized, and I feel like I just feel very compelled to talk about this kind of stuff. And even if there is a whole bunch of stuff like this already online, everybody's experience is different, so what resonates with one person might not resonate with another person. So hopefully the stuff I say resonates with somebody. It might not, but we're gonna try. So yeah, so I kind of want to like make this almost like a series. I don't really know what to call it yet. I'm thinking like mental musings or something corny like that with some alliteration. But yeah, I don't know yet. So that's what I'm thinking about. And today's topic for said thing is codependency and love addiction. I've been hearing the term love addiction so often lately, predominantly because I've been listening to an excessive amount of Loveline, but they talk about it a lot, and it's something that I've always really struggled with, and same with codependency, and a lot of people who have anxiety issues or depression issues have these kind of things. So yeah. So basically, also I want to say that everything that I say in these videos that I make, every bit of information that I say comes from my own personal experience and anything I've read, but I'm not licensed in any way, or my highest form of education about this kind of stuff is college psychology, and my professor was not great, but and my own personal experience both with myself and with people in my life. So, alright, now I'm gonna stop. I've been rambling for 5 minutes. So, codependency and love addiction. Love addiction, first of all, is because it's not, I feel like codependency is more commonly talked about than love addiction. So love addiction is basically it's not just something that's used in the sense of romantic love. Love addiction is you're obsessed and addicted to love in the most basic sense of the word. And what I mean by that is, alright, so I'll use myself as an example. My entire life, I have had a handful of very close friends, and I've lost every single one of them because I always cared about them a million times more than they cared about me. And that's not to be me saying, oh, they're such horrible people that they didn't care enough. It's me being so not obsessive, but so just attached to these people and putting my entire life force into these people, and most people aren't up for that. Most people, it's too much for them, and I would say it's almost healthier to have that be too much for you. I can never maintain more than like 1 or 2 friendships at a time because I'm putting so much into one friendship that I can't, there's just no more of me to give to anybody else. And then I get I will just want this person to be happy, and I want everything to be perfect for them, and I want to do everything for them all the time, and then they eventually leave because it all gets to be too much for them, and I am destroyed. It's like feeling like your heart's being teared out and stomped on. I recently had this feeling at Warped Tour on Saturday, which I just made a video about that, about Warped Tour, not about what happened, but this is kind of what prompted this video. Basically, I felt very, very, by a friend, I felt very not wanted. And that's mostly a result of my own like neuroses of having abandonment issues, pretty much due to my own lack of self-confidence and the experiences I've had in the past. So this is in no way on this person for not going above and beyond to make sure that I'm comfortable and making me feel loved. It's almost like, that made no sense, did it? So basically, when you're someone who gets love addicted, you are very, very needy, and not in a standard needy way, but in a like needy, you need constant reaffirmation of the fact that you are loved and you are valued and you are important. And if you're not constantly getting those, you feel inferior and you can't handle it, and it feels like, oh my god, I love this person so much and they don't care about me as much as I do, and I'm never going to have anybody care about me as much as I do. And it's a scary, scary, scary feeling when you make somebody your everything and you are in no way close to that to them. And it's not healthy to make somebody your everything. It's really, really unhealthy, and I know it's so romanticized in like Nicholas Sparks' books and everything to be like, you're everything, I'll give up everything on the planet for you. That's not a good way to be, because it's not a healthy way to be, because at the end of the day, it really is just you and yourself. And I'm not saying be self-centered and selfish and only care about yourself, but you kind of do have to put yourself first, in the idea that if you're all alone, you know that if you're all alone, you'll still be okay. Like, I think the biggest sign of a healthy-minded person as far as relationships go is that you would very, very much love to have people in your life, because I don't care how big of an introvert you are. I'm a huge introvert. I don't care how introverted you are or shy or socially awkward. I'm all those things. Humans require interaction with other humans. It doesn't need to be constant interaction, but you need some sort of emotional connection. We are emotional beings, and we are tribal by nature, so we really need that kind of interpersonal connection and bonding with other people. But that can't be all you have. You need to know that if you're alone for a period of time, you'll be okay and you won't completely self-destruct, because you need to be constantly told that you are valued and worthy, and the only way that you can feel valued and worthy is if another person tells you that you are. That's not a healthy way to be, and it's just not. And so that kind of leads me to the codependency thing. And codependency isn't just that standard stereotype of the relationship where the girl or the guy is constantly clinging on to their significant other and they can never do anything apart. That is codependency, but codependency is a lot more of an emotional thing. And it's a lot kind of the same thing as love addiction, in the sense that you make somebody your everything and you need that other person to feel whole. And once again, that sounds like such a romantic concept, but it's really, really destructive, both mentally and emotionally, and sometimes even physically, because people get into situations with people and they get codependent with people who are really not good people or in really bad places, and that's when you see abuse and people getting hooked on drugs and stuff, but you just can't break yourself away from them. It's an addiction. And I don't by any way mean to say that to put at fault people who are in bad situations with their significant others, but the people who seek out, even unknowingly, these people that do not treat you correctly, and I know this from experience, that you might not go into a relationship or a friendship being like, oh, this person is not very nice and does not treat me well, I'm going to befriend them because I deserve that. You're not consciously thinking that, but people are really good at subconsciously picking up the energies of other people. So people can, like with me, people can kind of, when they're near me, they can kind of get the vibe or the energy that I'm not very approachable because I'm very anxious and I get very scared of people. So people don't really want to talk to me. They can get the sense that I am very, very damaged, so that I'm easy to take advantage of. And that kind of attracts these kind of people that pick up on that fragility and that brokenness and feed off of it and build themselves up on trying to push me down. And me being the codependent love addict that I am, I allow that to happen. Not always knowingly, but the older I get and the more I experience it, the more I'm realizing how it's not being a good person. Putting another person that you love entirely before yourself does not benefit anybody. It does not benefit that person, and it does not benefit you in the end. I had one relationship with a person before in high school that was so destructive, but I made it my burden that I had to stick around for this person just in case. No matter how terribly they treated me, I had to be there to build them up if they happened to fall. And if they tore me down every single day in the process and kept me up at 3 a.m. every day with lies and emotional abuse and blah 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 blah, I made that my burden. I told myself that I deserved this and this was my burden, and if I left this person, I was being a horrible human being. When it all came down to it, I was being a bad person by staying with this person because I was enabling them to continue in their behaviors that will ultimately eventually catch up with them and lead to some very unhappy relationships in the future. And I was destroying myself because I was adding so much more stress to my life that I did not need, and I was telling myself that I was being a good person and this made me a good person. If I left this person, I would not be a good person anymore, and then I would have nothing, and there would be nothing on this planet that would make me valid. That's what I mean by love addiction and codependency. It's not being a good person, and it's great, it's so great if you can love somebody with all your heart and have this unconditional love for people. But I'm not saying that that's a bad thing and that's a dangerous thing, but there's a fine line between loving somebody and putting them first and being emotionally dependent on somebody and making them your entire world. Because when somebody is your moon and your stars, it's very, very rare that that's a healthy relationship. Relationships need balance, and if you're so attached at the hip to one person, they're not going to be able to reciprocate that. It's a balancing act. There needs to be giving and taking. You can't just give and give and give while someone else takes and takes and takes. And I'm not saying that these people are bad people, but it's my responsibility as somebody who knows how I am and knows that I can be very codependent and I'm quick to care far too much. It's important for me to recognize that and try to rein it back. I kind of was thinking about this the other day when I was sitting in my car outside Warped Tour hysterically crying, and then wound up being at Warped Tour by myself all day. I was like, if this one friendship falls through the cracks, I have nothing left. And it is the most terrifying feeling in the world when it feels like your entire world is resting on the shoulders of one human being. And if that person leaves you, then you have nothing. And it's not fair to that person. It is not their responsibility, and it is not your responsibility to hold up anybody. I don't care how broken a person is. And I understand, I want to fix everybody, and I'm not saying to leave your mentally ill friends, because then I wouldn't have any friends. But what I'm saying is, you're not doing anybody any favors by sticking with somebody when they are so caught up in their stuff and you're enabling them, and sometimes you need to give people tough love. I don't know if anything that I'm making is making any sense. I feel like codependency and love addiction and stuff like that aren't really talked about that often. So I just needed to get that off my chest, honestly, because I've been so upset this week about all this stuff that transpired. And at first I was furious at this person for making me feel that way. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, it's really me. I'm like, if I was a normal person and I didn't feel so much and so deeply, this wouldn't affect me as much. Would I be a little bit hurt? Yeah, but I wouldn't feel like my entire world was crumbling beneath my feet. And no one person should be able to make you feel that way. No one person should make you feel like if they disappear from your life, you don't have anything left. That's not a healthy mentality to be in. And again, it's so romanticized to feel that way, and there's songs written about it and books and all this stuff, but when you get to the nitty-gritty of it and you get to the real world, it is not romantic. It is life-shattering, and it's just another thing that you shouldn't have to deal with. And I just think it's important to be aware of that. This video is getting really long, so I guess I'll go now. Sorry. I really don't think anything I said made any sense. I really need to start like writing this stuff out before I do it. And I can't even see the screen, so I might not even be in focus. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next week.